don't need a PhD in AI or $1 million team to build something legendary.
You heard about this hot new thing called AI agents, and you want to get in on the action.
First, you'll want to initiate your multi-agent orchestration layer.
Then layer in memory, evils. Yeah, that's when most people give up.
That's why we made Toolhouse, the first agentic backend as a service,
Which is startup speak for, we did the hard stuff, so you can get to the fun part.
so stop overthinking. Start building with Toolhouse.
And just like that, we made that video with AI. It's hilarious. It's bad, but we love it. You know, we did the hard stuff, so you don't have to do it, right? That's kind of the recurring, beautiful message that we're spreading here at Toolhouse. And today I have another build session where I'm going to show you how to use RAG. For those who don't know what RAG is, it's retrieval augmented generation. And that means that when you have an LLM, which requires extra information at a runtime, right? Like it can go and find that information thanks to the power of databases, vector databases and embeddings and all that other stuff. I'm not here to teach you what RAG is, but rather how to use it and why you should use it, some use cases, etc., etc. So why should you use RAG? Well, some knowledge is private, right? In the world of AI, some knowledge is still private. You know, after the big companies have scraped half of the internet and more to create these amazing LLMs, some knowledge was not accessible to them. So perhaps you have, if you're into the medical field, some new research documents that have been surfaced in recent times. And so you want your AI, your LLM, your AI project, your AI agent, whatever, to use that knowledge. And so instead of like creating a new, retraining your LLM or like fine tuning it, you can just say, hey, I know you're really smart, but here's some extra information that you can access. And when you access that information, now you have it and you can help the user or another agent or some other system basically to do their job, their task, whatever that might be. So let's see how we can do that. And I'll do that with the help of an example. You know, here at Toolhouse, we're really interested into building little projects using our own technology so that you can see what it's like to build on top of Toolhouse. So the first thing we did was we created a new way to work with documentation for engineers. So if you're familiar with Toolhouse, you know that we have a website called docs.toolhouse.ai. And under there, what happens is you can go and browse information about how to use Toolhouse, any clients, SDKs, helpers, whatever. There's a lot of information in there. And so this is the URL, docs.toolhouse.ai. But we realized that it's more fun if you actually chat with the documentation. You can ask questions. And so I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you how we built it so that you can also build it. I'm going to share my whole window here. So let's go. Perfect. Now I just got to make sure that we see it. Oops. There it is. So hopefully this is big enough. Okay, I can zoom a little bit in. There we go. So like I was saying, you go to docs.toolhouse.ai, you have all this information, and then you're like, oh, that's a lot to read. I might just want to ask a question, like how do I use RAG? So you go into the help.toolhouse.ai and you build, we build this so you can just ask, hey, how do I get started and use RAG? ? So what happens in the background, this is powered by a Toolhouse agent. The agent has the superpower of RAG, right, which basically loads documents into the agent's context and allows you to basically get that information into a nice and usable format for the user in this beautiful chat interface. Now, before I save more, let me just share that we actually have all of this code completely open sourced on GitHub under the Toolhouse community repo. There's a really nice README here that Daniele has put together because Daniele had the genius idea of creating this for demo purposes. So props to Daniele. Thank you for doing that. You're an amazing person. So why did we build this? When we were going to hackathons, like back in November, December, we realized that people were struggling with building this RAG system. There are so many RAG system out there. There's like Weaviate, shout out to Weaviate. We love Weaviate. There's Cloudflare. There's so many, ChromaDB, but they're all complicated to set up. Oh, and Pinecone. We are friends with Pinecone too. It's kind of complicated. You need to basically understand how their system works, and then you gotta go ahead and figure out how to set it up and give it documents and then run through the vectorization of those documents. And it's a pain in the ass. So we said, hey, that is such a big pain that we at Toolhouse, we want to make it simple. We want to make it usable. So here we go, using RAG on Toolhouse. Today's episode of Build with Toolhouse, show the world what we can build here at Toolhouse. And so just like that, when I was like, hey, how do you get started using RAG? Well, guess what? It has all of the context from the documentation. And this is not a web scrape. This is not actually scraping the internet. This is actually loading up markdown files, which we have thanks to another product which we use, which is Gitbook, which is like the less cool version of Mindlify or whatever. And we basically use that to create our documentation portal like everybody else, as you can see here, right? Like powered by Gitbook. We don't pay for the super premium plan or whatever. So here we go. So this documentation then is loaded into your agent, and then your agent can now answer questions. You can do this with any sort of document. It can be a text file, maybe it's a CSV file, maybe it's a markdown file, and PDFs, et cetera, Like right now, we only support a subset of these things. And I think there is actually, here we go. And now we can just ask the chat, what file types does Toolhouse RAG support? Question mark. Make that look nice. And now it should answer, oh, okay, these are and it makes a beautiful table. There we go. So there's a lot of files here. And as you can see, most of them are text plain encoded, which makes it super simple for the RAG pipeline to ingest those files and then say, okay, now they're part of our vectorized database. Like we have this vector database where like all the knowledge is connected. I will make maybe a video on how it works behind the scenes, the actual infrastructure at a later point. It's a much more convoluted video because we have to go through all the infrastructural bits, but that will be, if anyone's interested, let me know. I'll just, show you the magic sauce, And by the way, we love red sauce here. We're Italians, right? So some of us are Italians. Anyways, that was a side note. Okay, so how did you build this? How can I get started building RAG? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna show you how to do it with simply. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is make yourself a nice folder. So let's make. Actually, I'm already in a nice folder here. I don't need to make a nice folder. Actually, you're not seeing. Can you actually see my screen? Yes, you can. What? No, you're not seeing it. Okay, give me a second as I fix this, because otherwise there's no point in me showing. Present. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Perfect. And we're back. Now I'm sharing the whole screen. Before I was just sharing the window. I made a mistake. So make this larger, bring this up, zoom, make it even larger. Okay, here we go. This is a big screen I have here, so bear with me. I'm using Warp, and so let's have a look. So let's see what's in this folder. In this folder, I have a bunch of markdown files. Let's look at summary.md. Okay, this has like all of the index. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna try to potentially look at, using rag.md. Okay, so this file here, this markdown file, has all of the information that we also have in the documentation portal that tells you how to get started with RAG. It's a simple markdown file, and so what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna do install npm install -g toolhouse AI-CLI. So this goes ahead and downloads the CLI, which is my preferred method of building agents in Toolhouse. All right, so now that we installed it, I'm gonna clear the screen, and I'm going to, actually, you know what? Let me do this like that. Oh yeah, it's more centered in the middle of the screen. I use Raycast, and I know Chris Messina, you're gonna love me for using Raycast. I love Raycast too, and so I can use Raycast to like reorganize my screen windows and applications. All right, that was another aside. Okay, so now I know that I have markdown files inside of this folder, and I'm gonna show you how to use the Toolhouse CLI. First thing after I installed it, th login, gonna take me to a browser, and there you go. You can, it's off screen, it's basically resending me and getting the API key into the into the Toolhouse CLI. Now that I'm ready to go, this is all the steps you need to get started with the Toolhouse CLI. Now we're logged in, we've installed it. I'm going to show you how to use the RAG command. So thrag, super straightforward, -- help, and you can see that there are a bunch of commands. Thrag ls is gonna basically show you which RAG folders that you have available. You can create new RAG folders, and the reason why you can create RAG folders is so that you can then tell your agent to access certain folders. If you create a new folder with your personal information and you set an agent to read that information, that means that you don't have to cross-combine information that each agent has to use, right? All right, so now we're gonna do thrag, and we're gonna create a new folder. So if you look up here, create, and then folder name. So thrag create, and I'm gonna call this folder docs because it has to do with documentation. Perfect. Something in the backend happened. We created a new RAG folder, and now I need to add a document, basically upload my local document so that the agent that I'm going to build next is going to be able to access this through of the RAG pipeline. So thrag add docs, and then I'm going to add the file which was using rag.md. And just like that, I just uploaded one small file into the RAG folder. So now there are suggested actions here. I can list my folders, or I can add more documents. Actually, I'm going to do thrag ls, and we're gonna see that now I have two folders. And then if I do thrag docs, I'm going to do thrag, and then I'm gonna see the next step, which is I can remove a file if I want to. Or if I go up here, there is a really nice command, which I'm really proud of. It's the next action command. And then that tells you what you should do next. So here it's suggesting, if I want to use this folder and give knowledge to my agent, then I should just add this line to my my agent file, my Toolhouse agent file. So let's go ahead and build a Toolhouse agent, th new, and then we're gonna call this what should we call it? RAG demo agent. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and edit the the RAG agent, RAG demo agent. Oh my goodness. All right. So there we go. There you have it. So this is all you need to start creating an agent on Toolhouse, and we're gonna start changing some things here. I'm gonna get here to the bottom. As you can see here, there's this section which is called the RAG folder. I'm gonna actually add what I copied from what the CLI told me earlier, which is how I get to my folder, which we call docs. So I paste it here, and as you can see now, I added this line to the agent file. All right, perfect. Now I'm gonna hit Shift ZZ, and then Shift ZZ. I saved it. Make sure I saved it. RAG demo agent. It will print it. There it is. So it's here. I have it. Now I gotta customize the agent a little bit more, because right now if I do th run and then I do RAG demo agent, it's gonna be write a short story about a mysterious island. Obviously, that's not going to use the RAG because that's not the prompt of the agent. So let me go and actually kill this, and I'm gonna edit the agent once again, and I'm gonna call this onboarding agent, right? So instead of writer, onboarding agent for Toolhouse RAG. And then the prompt is, I'm not going to use variables. You are an onboarding agent. You are an onboarding agent that knows about Toolhouse RAG. Tell the user about it when asked, and be educational or something like that. I don't even know if educational is a word, but we'll go with it. All right, we don't use any variables, so I can simply comment this out, and then I'm going to save this or hit Shift ZZ or Shift ZZ, and that should save the file through Vim. All right, so now what happens next? Well, if I run the agent, it's going to say, okay, ask me a question. Let's see. Okay, it's actually not asking me a question. It's actually just giving me the information from the RAG straight out. So I can go ahead and change the prompt again. You are an onboarding agent that knows about Toolhouse RAG. Tell the user about it. Okay, so actually the prompt makes sense, right? Like it tells you about the thing. That's pretty cool. But now I want to change this and make it so that it's only, whoops, I should insert, okay, only, oh, I don't know why I made that capital, but only tell the user about how to use the RAG system when asked about it. I don't know why I did, when asked about it, remember to be educational. All right, that's better. All right, so now let's run it again. Let's see what happens. This is a demo, it's real time. Perfect. There you go. Understood. I'll provide information about the Toolhouse RAG system only when specifically asked. All right. So now that we have this, we can deploy it. Th deploy RAG demo agent.yaml. And just like that, we deployed a new agent. Now you're going to ask, okay, cool. You built the agent. You gave it some extra information, one file just for demo purposes. And now you deployed it. How can I talk to this agent? How can I use it? Well, if we go back to this repo here, which we open sourced, again, it's available at Toolhouse-community stateful chat agent. It was a demo which Daniele built to showcase the power of Toolhouse with statefulness, with RAG, etc., etc. The URL is below. All right. And so going back to the terminal, now I can literally, since I deployed this agent, I can run it by using this curl command, just like that. And it's going to say, oh, hey, yeah, I'm a Toolhouse RAG system only specifically asked. Perfect. All of that makes sense. It's just like we expected. The next thing I'm going to show you is how do I get the statefulness of this? Or how can I continue the chat? How can I actually send a message? Well, to do that, we need to add -- verbose to this agent. So let's run it. And we're going to get a nice run ID. You see this here? This run ID? This is what's basically telling Toolhouse, hey, this conversation has started. If you want to continue, here's an ID for you to for the user to continue, or the application. So when I do curl post with this, I created it. But if I want to continue the conversation with my agent, I will append the run ID to the agent's unique endpoint or URL, whatever. And I got to change this post into a put. So if I do that, then I can pass JSON and I can pass a message just like that. So message and then I will call this, how can I use, or like, what is the command to create a new RAG folder with the Toolhouse CLI question mark. And now what's going to happen is I basically continue the conversation with the agent that I deployed, that I started. That means that now the agent knows that oh, okay, interesting. You may want to check official documentation or resources related to Toolhouse for the most accurate and detailed instruction. If you have any other questions, okay, so it's actually not answering. Okay. Let's see. Let's give it some more information. Help me get started with RAG. Let's see if that helps. Help me get started with RAG. And I will show you what happens to all of these commands once they're, okay, here we go. Perfect. It's giving me the information. It's streaming it back to me. Let's see if it makes sense. Use the Toolhouse CLI, just like we did. Add documents, configure retrieval. Perfect. Okay. So maybe the question I asked was not answered in the documentation that I had given to the agent, which probably makes sense. All right. So now you're saying, okay, can you ask more questions? Yes, absolutely. Just go ahead and change this question. For example, I could say, how do I deploy my RAG application? Question mark. Let's see what it says. And you will see in a moment that every time you ask a question, perfect. Okay, yeah, it's giving me some information. Cool. This is more generic than what I expected it, to be honest. Maybe because the initial prompt that I wrote for the agent was kind of like rushed. I should have probably said only answer to the user with knowledge from Toolhouse. Do not be generic. Talk about the CLI. You know, if I improve the prompt, I can get magic to come out. So now I'll show you, where does all of this statefulness go? So if you do a GET request to the agent and I remove all of this stuff from here, you should be able to see exactly the history of the agent. Oh, curl X. Oh, I think I deleted too much of this. All right. Curl-X get. And potentially like that. There we go. Here we go. I had deleted too much. The beauty of doing things in real time. So here you can see all of, and obviously, I'm sorry, this is, let's see, do I have GQ installed? I do have JQ installed. So I can do this and pipe it into GQ, and it should give me a nice, it's going to format it nice for me, I think. Is it going to do it? Yes. Okay, it's actually not much better, but a little better. There we go. JQ is a really good command line utility for messing around with JSON structures. So what I did is I basically did the curl request with get to the agent endpoint with the agent ID and the run ID, right? So now every time I do this, I can see all of the information that the user, aka me, I have been asking to my agent, and it's returned in this like nice, whatever you want to call it, JSON-like structure. And if you basically read it, it's all of the answers that I gave above. So where to go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, first of all, I would suggest you install the CLI and you start sign up. Of course, sign up to Toolhouse. You will need an account. Then once you signed up, you don't have to do anything. Open your terminal, install the CLI, npm i-g at toolhouseai/CLI. Okay, you know you have the CLI installed just like that. Make sure it works. The th-help. If you see this, the CLI has worked. The next step is get yourself some documentation, documents. Get yourself some PDFs, something that you might have on your computer, and then create a folder. Thrag help will tell you how to do it. Thrag create, and then you can create a folder. Call it whatever. You just send that. It will basically create the folder, and it will give you the command to add to your agent file. Perfect. The next thing you want to do is upload a folder. So you do upload a file into the folder, add whatever, right? And then the name of the file that you want to upload and give to your agent as knowledge. Then you create a new file, a new agent, new, go through the prompt. You will have a .yaml file in your folder. Mine here looks like that. You will edit it to give it maybe a title, a really good prompt. Don't do like me, which I rush the prompt. And then the most important thing is add the RAG line here with the name of your folder that you just created that has the documentation that you've uploaded. And then once you've done that, save everything and run your agent, test it with run or do deploy to get that nice URL, which you can then call with curl, and then you can send like messages with the curl put command. All of this information is available, of course, on our doc portal, or if you want to just go ahead and rewind this video back and pause it as I was doing things, it should be able to give you a really good starting point for using RAG. So with that being said, I don't think there are any questions or comments that I can see. I'm going to take a look. Nope, no comments. So I guess this is going to end in a few minutes. I'm going to put the outro video back in because I thought that was really funny. Again, we're messing around with like more AI tools. The Google VO3 is really powerful. That's how we built this video that I'm going to show you in a second. I think it's funny, but it really shows you the power of where AI is going, whether it's on Toolhouse or somewhere else. Please go out there and explore Toolhouse. Please go out there and explore AI as a whole, and then come to Discord and let us know whether you're stuck, whether you have any questions, you want some new things in Toolhouse. Maybe you just have questions about AI in general. There's a community of people on Discord that are very curious, and we're obviously constantly on it, answering any questions anyone might have and help you out with your agentic questions, AI projects, etc., etc., etc. So on that note, I wish you all a great rest of your Wednesday. It's almost lunchtime here, and I will see you on another live stream tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big one, so hopefully you'll be on for that one. All right, have a good day. See you later, and let's watch the video once again because it's funny, and I hope it's funny for you too.
You don't need a PhD in AI or $1 million team to build something legendary.
You heard about this hot new thing called AI agents, and you want to get in on the action.
First, you'll want to initiate your multi-agent orchestration layer.
Then layer in memory, evils. Yeah, that's when most people give up.
That's why we made Toolhouse, the first agentic backend as a service.
Which is startup speak for we did the hard stuff so you can get to the fun part.
So stop overthinking. Start building with Toolhouse.
All right, that was it. See you later again. I'm out. Yo!